This is exciting. What's good, everybody? I'm Johnny Danger.
I'm Jesse Wheeler.
And we are the Dangerous Dudes.
Old-fashioned time.
Yes.
The Frank August old-fashioned.
This is properly rated.
That is rated perfect.
Yes. We're going to...
5 on a scale of 5.
Yeah, this is a 5 on a scale of
4.
2. Amazing. But today we're going to be discussing our over-unders.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Most overrated and most underrated bands in our opinion. One from each.
Yeah, so if you're playing along at home, artist, band, whatever, everybody has them. Bands that you feel don't get enough shine and bands that you feel like get way too much credit for their output. It's obviously a very subjective thing.
The overrated is obviously going to ruffle some feathers.
Of course.
The underrated, you know, I could have had a list of mile long of what I think is underrated, but
yeah,
that's what makes this fun.
You're the king of obscure bands,
right?
But you've gotten me into a lot of good ones, so I appreciate that.
And this is the beginning of an over and underrated series of episodes for us.
It's not always going to be bands, but
it's like going to be athletes, foods, drinks, beers,
vacation spots,
people, presidents.
Yeah, you name it. We're gonna cover it in this series, but we're gonna start with over under. Let's do underrated, or do you want to do overrated first?
Start with overrated.
Okay, you want to go first?
Get the insults out of the way.
Yeah, and again, a lot of times with these subjects, we discuss what the subject's going to be, but we save our responses to those so that it'll be a surprise. So I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what I'm going to say. And it kind of makes it fun and kind of keeps you on your toes.
So the most overrated band for me, in my opinion, is Talking Heads. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I've not heard a single song of theirs. I tried, believe me, because they're hip. A lot of people that I grew up with had like a Talking Heads phase. David Byrne seems to be like a brilliant artist. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, he is. But that band just doesn't do anything for me. And as much as I've tried to like it, and I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, because for a lot of people, they're like an important band.
Oh, they're critics' darlings.
Which is like usually like critics' darlings is an initial sign that like, all right, like, is it really that good? Like some of critics' darling stuff like Nirvana is that good, but for me, Talking Heads just does not cut it. Like,
okay,
I'm sorry, but I didn't like their videos. I don't like their songs. Popular, the less popular ones, I just didn't think that they did anything great.
You don't like you better
or
run,
like
run.
Burning Down the House, which was like, I remember the video. It's like I wanted to like it. It's like I just can't do it.
So the hardest part for me was not coming up with a list, but just shortening the list.
I was looking through
actually
a bunch of popular bands and I got to that one. I looked at like most popular bands of all time. I got to that one. I was like, that's the end. That's for me. That's it.
Nailed it.
Pump the brakes. Like, that's it.
Well, I was vacillating with this right up until we started shooting. And I had a couple that I was kind of hemming and hawing over, but I landed on the Velvet Underground.
I knew you were going to say that.
Now
I knew it. I wanted to write it down. And I love the Velvet Underground, which is what's funny.
Yeah. I have 2 others. Well, if we're not doing this again, can I say what my 2 other ones were?
Yeah.
And it'll piss people off. And I just couldn't go through with it. The other one was, and I feel strongly about it, was The Clash. I think they're highly overrated.
I could see why you say that.
The controversial one was Queen.
You know, they were on the list of best bands of all time, and I stopped at them. I could never put them in an overrated category, but I could see how somebody would.
So Queen is the bigger target.
Yeah.
Like they're the band that's had the most success out of the three I mentioned, them, The Clash, The Velvet Underground. But I like Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Bohemian Rhapsody is one of my favorite songs.
One of the best songs.
It's one of the best songs ever written. It's one of the most. It's like almost like a desert island song because it has 3 Days by Jane's Addiction.
Stairway to Heaven. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
3 Days. Those all fall into that category.
What's it? Megalomaniac by like Black Sabbath, where it just takes you on
a ride. Yeah, it's not one. It feels like it's multiple songs. They just decided to make it one.
But the Velvet Underground and Lou Reed, you know how I feel about Lou Reed.
I share the disdain for Lou Reed, but the Velvet Underground, the first couple of albums, I actually do like a lot.
I haven't. It's like.
It's not great.
The tiebreaker for me was when you listen to Talking Heads, like you want to get it,
right?
But you just can't. And I can't say that because I like a couple of songs of The Clash. I like a bunch of songs from Queen. I don't like anything that I've heard from the Velvet Underground. Like I don't like any of it. It's
Heroin, Waiting for the Man. I love those songs.
It's so. Boring. It's so mind-numbingly.
Well, some of the stuff
boring
is slow, and it's Lou Reed, so you can't discount.
Right. He likes to talk about tearing his nipples off and digging a hole in the ground and reading a book and like
a lot of songs about drugs.
Yeah, it's a lot of analogies and acronyms and little code messages for like his beatnik, drug community that like they all speak, his language and that's his folks. But like the music, I'm sorry, you can't, you'd have to give me some serious cash to sit down and listen to that discography.
So they're kind of like the original boy band per se, and that they were, Andy Warhol took a bunch of musicians, and Lou Reed, you could argue he was never a musician, but at that point he was borderline musician. It's like you meet some hipster dude at an art gallery. It's like, hey, you want to be in my band? And he wants to, and you just like make it work because it seems cool. And I get that about the Velvet Underground, but they did have a few decent songs, but I knew you were going to say it, and I don't.
The thing is, I actually wasn't going to say it until you said the Talking Heads.
Yeah.
I was going to just drop the Queen bomb.
Yeah, that's a big bomb.
It's a big bomb, but like my heart wasn't in it because like I like them too much.
And you like some of their stuff.
When you said Talking Heads, I was like, oh yeah,
it's easy. Yeah, that's like the low hanging.
Like I hate those guys. I just find their music really just unenjoyable and not good.
Some of it's hard to understand. I'll give you that. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
We post videos every week. If you like this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Cheers.
All right.
Boy.
So underrated.
We're going to be nice now.
You could make there's a claim 1 million bands could be underrated.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the reason I picked one band because I think that they are significant from like an all-time rock band perspective and very underappreciated. And it's kind of by design, is Fugazi. And they're underrated because they wanted to be underrated. They decided to never take major label money because they didn't want, they felt like that punk rock ethos was compromised if they took the money.
You got to respect that. Yep.
And if you take like, if you want to take like the emo, punk, those genres, there are a lot of kids these days those genres have made this major comeback. And, kids are into all this stuff from the 2000s. You want to start with the band that like started that whole scene and like really embodied punk and emo to the core. It's Fugazi. They did not make a bad record. All the records are great. They like resisted money, never sold out, and broke up and are still resisting reforming because they could reform now and do like a stadium tour. There's so much desire for them to get back together, which kind of defies logic. If they were to ever reform, they should play like a bunch of clubs. They were anti-moshing, which we could do a whole episode on my like take on that, violent, aggressive dancing. But like they had this ethos to them that is art and music to the core, and they own their own label. Yep. Like it to me, and the music is unbelievable. Yep. They did not make a bad record. They were tremendously influential across all the grunge bands, and there are a lot of people that will tell you, I loved Pearl Jam, I love Nirvana, I love Soundgarden, I loved all that stuff. I might like some punk rock too. I love Green Day and all pop punk stuff. They don't even know who Fugazi is. And like I said earlier, some of that is by design, but, and I have like a lot of personal connection to them. Like the time in my life that I discovered them was, it just is always going to hold this like, and I never got to see them live, which is why like they're all still alive. Like just do like a theater tour or something.
I think the only way they would do it is if there was this big groundswell for them to not reunite.
Right.
Then they'd be like, oh, we got to do this.
Right. Or like, figure out some way to like not make like, I guess you could do it, make a bunch of money and
give it all
away
the
to like, or whatever like scene you want to support, which would be like their whole consistent with their MO. I mean, you're never going to arrive at the most underrated band because that's like obviously purely subjective, but like for me, they're way less appreciated than they should be.
Okay. My band is going to come out of left field for underrated. It's the band Kix. One of my favorite bands from the hair metal era. They were lumped into, but they were never hair metal. They were way more AC/DC than, like.
Did they have a big hit?
Yeah, they had "Don't Close Your Eyes." That was their big hit.
Yeah.
But I finally got to see them in concert in 2023, and it was their farewell tour.
It's amazing.
So if you would have told me when I was a 14-year-old kid, my neighbor Craig Ritzler gave me a Memorex blank tape recorded with Kix album "Blow My Fuse," and that was like their big hit. They struggled, and they worked with Beau Hill on their album previous to "Blow My Fuse" called "Midnight Dynamite." And Beau Hill is famous for working with Rat, who was almost my pick for underrated because
that'd be a good one.
They have so many great songs, so many unbelievable ear candy, classic, well-constructed, great musicianship songs. But I was vacillating between the two, and I landed on Kix because way more people know who Rat is than Kix. Kix was this band from Maryland, and they I think they started in like 1981. They kind of like sounded like a little new wave, but it was only because they had a small budget. They couldn't work with like the producers that would really like bring out their sound, which was just hard rock, like no bullshit, just straight to the point hard rock. Their album "Blow My Fuse," they have a run from it's "Midnight Dynamite," "Blow My Fuse," and then "Hot Wire" is their. They have a couple albums after that, but they hit like this triumvirate of just like meat and potatoes rock and roll. Like, you know me, like I love Four on the Floor. Give me a good snare roll. I love progressive weird shit too, but I like my rock and roll like to be rock and roll. And I heard this song the other day called "Overdose" by AC/DC, and it's this uber like rare track of theirs. But like even AC/DC, like when they get melodic and they get like a little bit more complex with like their interludes or their intros to songs, but then you get to like the verse and the chorus and they just give it to you like D, C, G in your face. Like Kix was like that, and Steve Whiteman has like this really just perfect high register gritty voice, awesome guitar playing, great drums. Check out Kix.
So pick
very
one.
Underrated.
Pick one Kix album for our listeners who haven't checked them out to listen to.
It's Blow My Fuse, without question.
For Fugazi, listen to In on the Kill Taker. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
That album like changed my, I don't want to say changed my life because that's kind of like overdoing it.
But there are albums.
It changed my consumption of music in a significant way. And a lot of that has to do with the time in my life when I got it and the environment I was in. But I remember
that's a great idea.
Blew my mind.
That's a great idea for a next episode. Albums that changed your life.
Yeah.
Because there are those, and it's always at that same period of time, right?
In your life,
15, 16, 17 years old.
Can you imagine like an album change your life
yesterday. Now? Like, dude, I heard this. I heard this album.
New Talking Heads album.
Hey, you ever heard of Boston?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It changed my life.
Have you heard of the band Aerosmith?
Have you heard the new Dua Lipa?
Have you heard the new Miley Cyrus or Billy Ray Cyrus?
Oh my God.
It's going to change your life.
Yeah. Well, we can keep going with underrateds just as bonus content. Middle Class Rut, underrated.
Without question. Hot Snakes.
Hot Snakes.
Don't sleep on them.
At the Drive-In.
Oh, don't sleep on them. Mars Volta, if you haven't heard of them, they've gotten a little bit more popular, especially amongst the kids.
And newer stuff. I'm so late to the Turnstile Party.
Yeah, the
I heard Slow Drive.
Yeah.
That song Slow Drive, it's in all caps. And Metallica was playing it on their new station, Maximum Metallica. Dang it, that song's so good.
Record is great. I mean, I feel like
it sounds like Middle Class Rock.
That can't be underrated because like they blew up this last year.
But maybe a little unknown to people that watch our show.
Right, for sure.
Because we're a bunch of old fogies, but we're still cool enough to know what's happening in the underground.
I'm ready for bed.
I'm ready for bed too.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe.
Leave us your overrated, underrated in the comments. We'd like to hear what you have to say. You probably disagree with ours as well. We'd love to hear from you.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Lou Reed's the greatest artist of the 20th century.
Heads changed my life. Okay, that's great. All right.
You're wrong.